Hi everybody, Russell's very formal. Russ on the West Ham. Russell? I get called Russell when I get told off by the wife. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Congratulations, we've done another week. Fantastic. Well done everybody. And we won yesterday. Oh my god, we won a game, our first game of the season. Roll on Brighton. So I present to you the Hammers headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. It's the 19th of August, and what we do on a Friday obviously is we bring you a synopsis of the David Moyes press conference. Wasn't a particularly long press conference at all. Obviously with the Vyborg game yesterday, there's not really much more to talk about really, particularly as Billy McKinley did the pre-match and the post-match press conferences. Obviously Moyes had kicked the ball at a ball boy's head. So we would go through it. So there wasn't really much to talk about, but I'll bring in the highlights very, very shortly. In terms of what we've got coming up, just a flag, put a flag up the flagpole. Is that what you do? No, anyway. It's a busy weekend. Obviously, we've got Saturday. We've got Holly's, the next edition of Holly's show. Tweet all about it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really, really good. A bit like Points of View, but with West Ham Twitter. That makes sense. So it's going through all the funny and interesting stuff that's happened on West Ham Twitter in the last week or so. That'll be out on Saturday afternoon. And then we've got the preview for the Brighton game, which will be sort of early evening UK time, so check that out. Sunday, we've got matchday mornings. If I get my arse out of bed for the Brighton game, which will be around sort of 9 o'clock-ish, something like that usually. And then we've got Matchday Live and then the highlight show where we try and tune in live from the Supporters Club at the London Stadium if I get a good signal. So plenty to come. And also, just to mark your card, if you're new around here, subscribe anyway and hit the bell notification. But next week we should have not Uno, but Dosh ex-Hammer interviews, my Hammers 11s, people we haven't had on the channel before, two really good interviews, so I don't want you to miss them, so make sure you check, hit the notification button so you don't miss any content. As I said, let's go and talk about the David Moyes press conference. So he was asked several questions, but the first one was about Vyborg, the Vyborg game, and he was very complimentary. So we took out of it 3 good goals. Mickey getting back into the goals. Gianluca and Jared as well. They are easy on paper, but they are harder to play. It was a tough game, but we got there in the end. Some of the players, it was important to get their first match. To get Gianluca and Maxwell some minutes was good as well. And I think that was sort of echoed by me and various others. In terms of the review shows and the rating shows, it was the best or the minimum. Probably the minimum outcome, not the best outcome. Best outcome would have been like 10-0 and we'd have killed the game off and it would have been a clean sheet. But probably the minimum outcome would be get some game time for the new boys, and Scamacca to get off the mark, Antonio to get off the mark, Bowen to get off the mark, Saeed to get another assist, Cornet to get another assist, and give some of the guys like Ashby and TLO as well some game time. So no one got injured. And to get Oggy on the pitch as well, and we speak about Oggy more specifically in a minute. He was asked about Macca, the new Macca, Scamacca. He said, "I think in time he would have an impact. I don't think it's fair to judge him right away. We will bring him into the Premier League gradually, but you've enough to see he will bring us a lot." So whether that means that, because Moyes, he likes a bit of smoke and mirrors, whether that means that he goes straight into the Brighton game, he starts the Brighton game, I don't know. Whether that means he starts on the bench and Antonio starts the Brighton game, I don't know. We don't know, and we don't know until we get the team sheet at an hour before kickoff at 1:30 tomorrow. Is it 2 o'clock or 1? I can't remember. I better check what kickoff time is, because I always turn up late or turn up at too early. Like the other day when I thought it was a 2 o'clock kickoff, it turned to be 4:30. Mrs. Budden wasn't happy. But I mean, he had a good game, I thought. 60 minutes under his belt, 65 minutes. Took the goal well, and I think we're all happy because it was a striker's goal. It's Cornet, got to the byline, chipped it in. I mean, he's 6'5" already, but he's got a head of a leap on him. So I thought that worked really well. Combination. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of that coming through. Obviously, one of the other surprises was obviously the inclusion of Ogbonna, and obviously as captain as well. I thought it was very important he be captain, particularly with so many sort of new first teamers and so many young lads playing as well. And he says, obviously, getting the first game, the first win, some of the players coming back onto the pitch is important. We gave Angelo a chance to get back on the pitch, maybe a bit earlier than we would have liked because of the players available, but he did well. And that's the thing, he did do well. You know, he played 60 minutes. I thought he played quite... we did our rating show at midday, so check it out and see if you agree with our ratings. I thought he played okay, and again, getting minutes under his belt, it's all important now. It's all important, and you got to think with him back in potential selection. You got to think with obviously signing Tierlo as well. You've got Zuma, and it's not looking too shabby there in defence now. It'd be interesting to see when Aged comes back, who he partners with Aged, whether it is Tierlo or whether it is Zuma. We'll see. And also reports today about Emerson's back on. So we'll see what happens with that. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, dude, the crazy world of West Ham is unbelievable. When asked about injuries and in terms of team selection, he basically said there's not much to report from last night, but we're hoping to get people back. Dawson's not too far away now as well. So again, by then you'd have probably almost like a fully fit side, really, with the exception of Aged. No other real long-term injuries. Obviously, we'll have Declan Rice back in the starting lineup. We'll probably have Cresswell will be back in. I don't think they'll put Soufal left back. I think they'll put Cressy in at left back for the Brighton game, and possibly Fabianski back in goal, and obviously David Moyes will be back on the pitch rather than in the director's box with his grandson or his son. And he was so funny. Just like he was taking pictures, and he's I think his grandson didn't want to be there. Just didn't want to be there, but he was trying to do selfies. It was really funny. But I think then we're in a slightly better position, and hopefully with one or two, with at least two more signings. We said that we talk about Amazon. There's Hands as well, Van Aken as well. So those two coming in, maybe a couple of loans. I could see a couple of loans coming in towards the end of the transfer window when we see who the likes of Chelsea buy. If Chelsea buy De Jong, then where does it leave Conor Gallagher? If Chelsea go and buy Aubameyang and De Jong, where does it leave Brozier? One of them we could get in on loan, maybe. We'll see. Look with people like Nathan Mars we've been looking at as well. So I think there's going to be two more permanents, and then I think the rest will be loan deals coming in. So I think we're looking in a better position than we were maybe a week ago. But we'll see. In terms of the Brighton game, he was talking about obviously the Brighton, our bogey team. We've never beaten them in the Premier League. He says, I get loads of teams like that in my history. If it's not Brighton, but other teams as well. They have a good team, a manager who is doing well, a structure they play, and have a lot of things going for them. We finished above them last year though, and we have to show that on Sunday. I think if you look at their model, they buy a lot of players early and keep them in the system. They make them valuable. I like their model. I'm not sure it'd work at the top level, but it works where they are at the moment. And obviously, you look at reports. Obviously, the likes of Basuma went to Tottenham, Cucurella went to Chelsea. We were looking at Moses Caicedo as well as a number of other clubs as well. Hopefully, the Mopai deal hasn't just gone through just yet, which worries me a little bit. Because he always scores against us. So, I think we're in good shape. Maybe we can get this voodoo off our back, this monkey off our back, maybe. Who knows? But I know what he means. They buy in low, develop and sell. And you can't be like that if you want to get to the top for the top teams. And that makes sense. The top teams buy the types of players that Brighton develop. Please, can we just... We haven't got Glenn Murray anymore. Hopefully I haven't got Neil Mopai anymore. Just once, please. Just once. And then asked about, obviously, we got the monkey off our back in terms of getting the first... Use the expression twice in 2 seconds. In terms of the first win of the season with the Vyborg game. And moving forward to the Premier League now and getting those first points on the board. And he says it's really important. We don't want to get in a position where we're too far behind because we want to be challenging the boys at the top. So we need to make our mark. So, for me, I think it's critical we get something out of the game on Sunday. 3 points would be lovely, obviously. But even a point, I think, just to get off the board, if anything, just for our own sort of mentality, having a big 0 doesn't look good doesn't matter if it's one game. 3 games, 10 games, obviously the more games, it's not as good having 0 at the end. But I think just getting some points on the board will get some momentum going, and obviously, hopefully, we'll get likes of Scamacca, Antonio getting on the score sheet, Bowen on the score sheet. I thought Bowen was played a lot better than he has done the last couple of games. Cornet looks like he's a live wire, and I think he'll be really excited a lot of players and a lot of fans rather. Particularly on Sunday, we'll hopefully 60,000 people back in the stadium again. All the trains are running, and so hopefully we'll have a full house and we'll be able to really hammer home that advantage against the Seagulls. Let's hope so. And finally, he spoke briefly about transfers, not to the extent of last week. We basically said that Cornet was in the building and we hope to get him inside. But someone asked him about Emerson and reports that we were back in for him. And he was coy enough to say, we'd like someone at left back to help Cressy and get cover there. But I would like some cover there. I wouldn't talk about anyone individually. Although didn't he talk about Cornet, saying that he was so obviously it's not as if it was a done deal, then he'd probably specifically mention it like he did with Maxwell Cornet, but not so much with Emerson. So we'll see what happens there. But we know left back's a position that we need cover on. The fact that we had to play, it was a bit of a mixed mishmash really, didn't it? Because we thought someone like Ben Johnson would play left back, but Sufal played left back and he had to keep cutting in on the right hand side. Didn't quite work, did it? Obviously, Ben Johnson's been playing there as sort of a deputy to Cresswell, but I think Cress will be back in on the side on Sunday, and potentially, unless they might try something new on next Thursday, we may have Emerson back in. We might have him in the squad by then. Who knows? But yes, I mean that was basically the press conference. That was literally it. I mean, so as you know, with press conferences they have 2 sections. They have the broadcastables, then they have the embargoed, which you find out in the evening usually, or the day on the game itself, the day of the game. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, hope saved you having to listen or read anything. You just listen to me warble on for 12 minutes. But anyway, as I said, plenty coming up this weekend. Loads of stuff, loads of shows. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you hit the bell notifications. Don't miss any content next week. Hopefully 2 big West Ham ex-player interviews. People we haven't had on the channel, which I'm really buzzing about. It's all good. And we've got loads lined up. September's looking good. And October as well, actually. So make sure you check out the channel and make sure you hit the bell notification so you made it anywhere time we put any content on, whether it's a live interview, pre-recorded, whatever. You don't miss anything if you hit that bell notification. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay lucky. Stay cheeky. Stay positive. Keep the faith. And fingers crossed we can do Brighton on Sunday. Oh, wouldn't it be a great week? Wouldn't it be a great week if, last Sunday we were down in the dumps at Forest. This week, 2 wins if we beat Vyborg and we beat Brighton, fingers crossed, and at least 1 signing through the door. Maybe more. Maybe more at the weekend. Who knows? Take care. Bye-bye.